Good morning, this is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
There's been an arrest in connection with the drive-by shooting that sent a Sioux Falls woman to the hospital. We first told you about the investigation earlier this month when someone shot at a home just south of Whittier Middle School.
A woman inside an apartment was hit in the arm, but she survived. And 21-year-old John Beck is now charged in the case.
A prosecutor says Beck was in a stolen car when he shot a gun twice. The gun jammed and he left. Beck got out of the prison earlier this year for robbing a Mitchell gas station and is currently on parole.
Thursday in court, the judge set his bond at $100,000 cash only.
A Hartford man is dead following a crash west of Sioux Falls Thursday morning. Authorities say a motorcycle was heading west on Highway 42 just before 6:30.
At the same time, a pickup heading east tried to pass the vehicle of it and collided head-on with a motorcycle. The 56-year-old driver of the motorcycle died at the scene. The driver of the pickup suffered minor injuries.
A legislative committee keeping tabs on Ellsworth Air Force Base learned more about the arrival of the B-21 stealth bomber to South Dakota. The bomber's arrival date is still uncertain, but preparations are underway at the base near Rapid City.
The new bombers will bring thousands of additional airmen and their families to the Black Hills. It will also mean the return of nuclear weapons because Ellsworth B-1s do not carry a nuclear payload. And that means millions of dollars of upgrades to the base.
We mentioned going back to a nuclear culture. The alert facility is where you put airplanes on alert for nuclear missions if required. We are going to have to redo our alert facility, and so we're working through all of those pieces as well.
Ellsworth will be the first base to get the new stealth bomber. It will begin production once the current testing phase is complete. Now let's head over to the KELOLAND Live Doppler Storm Center for a good check of this morning's weather. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Perry. Good morning, everybody. A nice autumn day is ahead here. We've got partly cloudy skies, 60 degrees for Sioux Falls with a north wind at about 5 to 10, upper 50s in Aberdeen today. Pier forecast close to 60 and Rapid City nearing 64 with that south wind at 10 to 20. That's a quick look at weather. There are some changes coming our way next week. We'll discuss that coming up in a few minutes.
If people want to drop off medicine, our lobby will be open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If they're not able to make it during that time, we have drop boxes in our lobbies so they can drop it off any time that's open, and that's basically during the daytime hours when our lobby is unlocked.
Clement says this is a good way to ensure that medications do not get into the wrong hands.
Promising Futures Fund held their third annual thank you breakfast for school bus drivers in Sioux Falls.
One first-year bus driver says he joined the team at School Bus Inc. because of the flexible work schedule because he also coaches basketball.
I just think it's a good experience for those, and it's a very flexible schedule. You have a lot of opportunity to grow. You can do charters afterwards where you can start taking teams to travel and things like that. So I think it's a great opportunity.
The Promising Futures Fund supports 20 schools in the Sioux Falls School District that have very high rates of poverty.
Some of their after-school programs include reading, field trips, and summer camps.
There's a new season of Broadway entertainment at the Washington Pavilion. The venue kicked off its Broadway series last night with Shrek.
There are 3 more performances scheduled for tonight and Saturday.
Who doesn't need a little joyful comedy right now? That is exactly what this show has lined up for you. Additionally, I always love when we get to launch the season with a family show.
Other shows in the lineup include Chicago and The Addams Family. That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens.
All right, our weather picture today, well, we're looking at temperatures climbing back into the upper 50s to near 60 degrees this afternoon with dry skies overhead. It looks like those numbers in western South Dakota will be warmest. Rapid City area closer to 64 for a high today. Sioux Falls, yep, right there, close to 60. A little frost tonight. Looks like generally pretty quiet conditions as we kick off your weekend forecast. And tomorrow we'll have to contend with a little southerly wind that returns, but most of us will be in the 60s. Can't complain a whole lot about that. I know for many of us, though, it's watching the extended forecast. We're going to see where we go next year on this pattern. And clearly, we're starting a warming trend for western South Dakota already on Saturday in the low 70s. I think those 70s will expand on Sunday and into Monday. Sioux Falls area, we're projecting Monday's high at 76. Could get a little warmer. I'm not opposed to that idea. But I also think that structurally in the jet stream pattern, finally things are beginning to shake up a little bit more. Take a look at this. We've got our Monday, Tuesday forecast, and we've got a trough building in the west. Now, we've gone through a couple of these where, we've mentioned this and, disturbance will come through. And then what happens is it's kind of starved for moisture. Now, what happened yesterday was a little bit better. We had some scattered showers and thunderstorms north of Sioux Falls. I'll be curious to see what this moisture supply looks like by Tuesday. We do have a fetch of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. We're going to have some cooler air that's going to seep in from North Dakota, probably looking at 50s for highs and possibly cooler in the Black Hills by Wednesday. So let's see if we can squeeze out some rainfall. I'll be curious to see where the movement on this goes over the course of the weekend. We've got it in here as about a 20 to 30% chance of rain. That's not huge, but there's some also to increase. So let's watch that first system. And then just to toss out the possibility of the end of the week here, of next week, there's a second system. That one's a little bit more questionable on how much rain actually gets here, but at least it gives us a few more things to talk about as we get into next week. 58 today in Mitchell for your forecast, a dry day. Pleasant afternoon, pretty close to normal, not far from the normals. 61 tomorrow in Sioux Falls, partly cloudy with an increasing southerly breeze. And by Sunday and Monday, then we start to jump up here on those numbers. Monday in particular, it's 76. On Tuesday, we're forecasting the main cold front to be south. And what should happen here is that moisture should run up and over the top of the front, and it should rain on the back side of it. So that actually puts us in a little better position for that. And it's not just a local issue for Sioux Falls. This is Aberdeen, this is Pierre, this is Rapid City. I think we need to cover all of our locations with some rain chances. Tuesday and Wednesday is where we're focused right now. And in Rapid City in the west, could even stay in the 40s. That shouldn't surprise us this time of year. We're way overdue for one of those old-fashioned cloudy days with some rain showers. So hopefully that'll help us out. Check out the details about that subject online at KELOLAND.com.